Hello friends, I'm clapping again and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're here with another special guest. Hi, I'm Kat. Alright, so in today's video, I have brought an amazing best friend of mine from high school. Kat is at
Michigan Army ROTC.
Yes, and you know me, I go to the Air Force Academy, so if you've ever questioned what's the difference between Army ROTC at Michigan,
Specifically at Michigan,
versus the Air Force Academy, well, we're gonna tell you guys. So
we have all the answers.
Yes, we're just gonna generalize. So if you're like ROTC versus Academy, which one you're trying to go for, this will give you a general rainbow. I guess the first thing that I would say is how much military stuff you're willing to do is probably going to be your #1 decision factor.
Yeah, I would agree. And there's obviously, it depends, but like from detachment to detachment, like it depends on who your PMS or your professor of military science is, like in your detachment. Because mine, last year we had a guy who was like pretty chill, so we didn't do like a lot of drill and ceremony type stuff. Like we kind of just did PT and like went to class and had lab, and it was pretty chill. But this new guy really kind of wants to up the military factor, so he's having us do things like salute cadet rank that we just didn't end up doing last year. But that's like pretty common. Saluting cadet rank and like having a little more drill and ceremony in addition to PT is like pretty standard for a lot of other detachments.
Yeah, so at the Air Force Academy, your military life is going to be like, you have 3 main factors. You have like your athletics, your academics, and military. And military is going to take up at least 2 hours of your day, every day. So you're gonna wake up in the morning and you're gonna go to mod. Mod, again, is morning officer development. And then after lunch, you're usually gonna have another mandatory military event. So you either have like leadership classes, or you'll have briefings to go to, or just really anything. They have an hour of time they're allowed to use after lunch, and then you're always gonna march to lunch. And there's times at night where like it's mandatory military time too. So it's gonna be a little bit more military related, I guess, if you're looking at an academy, and it's pretty much that way across all the academies. So that's the main difference there, is general military stuff that you're gonna have to do is probably gonna be slightly more at an academy.
Definitely, yeah.
And I'd argue that ROTC, like, you're gonna have slightly more of a normal college experience.
Yeah, I'm a normal college student, and then I also do ROTC things. Like, ROTC time is ROTC time, and then, like, college time is college time. Like, I'm in a sorority, like, I live in the house, and then, like, and do all of, like, the regular college stuff that, like, comes with that, and then I also wake up early in the morning and, like, go to PT. Like, I get to do both.
Air Force Academy, you're not gonna, there's no like house life or whatever it's called.
Greek life?
Yeah, Greek life. I don't even know what it's called. That's how you know it's bad. There's no Greek life. Your Greek life is gonna be your squadron. So if you're down for that, how many days a week do you guys like are required to do PT?
3. We do it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's from 6 to 7. And then we have class, MilSci, military science, which is what Army like has. Navy's like NavSci, and Air Force is something else. And then on Thursdays from 4 to 6, we have lab or LPD. I don't know what LPD stands for.
Explain that.
Like, so lab is like, we do tactical stuff, so it's not really taught in the classroom. The classroom's more for like leadership development and like learning things that you can learn on paper, like land nav. Like you have to learn land nav in the classroom before you go out in the field and do it. But lab is when we put that like into practice. Like we might have a land nav lab where we go to like a park near the school, and the 4s have like, the 4s are seniors for us also. It goes 1s are freshmen and 4s are seniors.
Air Force Academy is opposite way. So you're for freshmen, you're 4, and if you're a senior, you're firstie.
Yeah, so the 4s will like go and set up points, and they'll like give you the coordinates, and then you have to go do the land nav.
So the difference here with the Air Force Academy is that once you're a freshman, you no longer have mandatory PT. So all of freshman year, you're gonna have training clerks and training officers that will run your mandatory PT. So you don't have that as soon as you're not a freshman anymore, you don't have that anymore. So then working out is on your own. There's motivation to work out because you have to do the AFT, and the PFT is the physical fitness test. So like most cadets will work out throughout the year so that they're able to pass those tests and they can have a higher military GPA. So that's the only difference. Like most kids here will work out. Like we're not forced to once you're a sophomore or junior or senior or 3-degree, 2-degree, firsty. So that's a big difference. And then I also feel like a big difference between ROTC and the academy is like our summer programs. Yeah. So like go through your freshman summer and then I'll go through mine.
So the only mandatory program, like mandatory, although they're trying to change it, the only mandatory program for Army ROTC is that between your junior and senior year or after your senior year, you go to advanced camp. Or like I think it's called LDAC or something. We just call it advanced camp. And that's at Fort Knox. And you go and you're in the field for like 3 weeks. And I think there's 1 week where you're like doing classroom stuff. And they're trying to change that too. So they want it to be longer in the field. But you basically go and you like play Army. Like you pretend to be a platoon sergeant for like one mission and you have to like brief the mission and do everything. You have to like, you pretend to be a platoon leader. Like
my freshman summer, you have ESET, which is like your survival training that you take for 1 block. It is mandatory. It's not like you get to choose if you get to go or not. And then you have a leave block, and then a 3rd block you can either jump out of an airplane, or you can fly a glider, or you can take a class. I took a class. But you still have the option to jump out of a plane your senior year, so that's why I did that, because I felt that I needed to take a class. Oh, hi Sophie, welcome to our video.
She's so good. We have to address Cadre versus Cadre.
Oh yes, okay. We call them Cadre.
This is an Air Force Army difference also. Like probably at West Point they say Cadre also.
During basic, the people in charge of you are your Cadre. But she calls them Cadre.
They're Cadre. And they're also not cadets ever. They're only, like, the fact that you guys can be Cadre as cadets,
yeah.
Whack. Our Cadre is, like, the captains and, like, lieutenant colonel that are, like, in charge of us.
Yeah, no.
They're the adult supervision.
Yeah, we don't call our adult supervision our Cadre. Oh, you know what? We're gonna end this debate.
Leave a comment. Cadre or Cadre?
I don't know how you're gonna spell it. I guess you can spell Cadre with an H.
Put an H in Cadre.
But then you're gonna be like, this isn't how you spell it correctly, so then you're not gonna think it's correct.
We could do application process.
Oh yeah, application process.
Yours is crazy.
Ours is insane. I'm just gonna make a whole different video on the application process. Vit and I answered some questions in my other video, which is the Q&A, where we go through the application process pretty in depth. So check out that video because I don't feel like talking about it again.
Are you gonna link it down below?
Yes, I'm gonna link it down below. Now Kat can answer.
So my application process, I actually did have an application process. You can, like, for ROTC, at least for Michigan, you can just kind of roll up and be like, I want to do this, and they will facilitate, like, you becoming involved and, like, you signing all the paperwork and stuff. So my senior year of high school, I was applying for the Army scholarship, and it's not, like, super difficult. It was just, I went in, it was very, like, college board-esque. Like, it was like I was applying to another college. It was all the same information. Like, I just had to go enter it into a site, and I had my interview. So there's the interview, and you do the PT test, and you, like, turn that paperwork in. I only started applying after I realized I got into Michigan. You can do it earlier. There's, like, they have it in waves. So you could apply in October and get your decision in December, or, like, you can apply in December and get your decision in, like, February. If you want to do ROTC, definitely apply, like, with the first wave if you can. Like, do that super early. Or ROTC's better. If you want a normal college life, ROTC's better.
If you want a normal college life, I would stick with the ROTC. But honestly, it's not like my college life is bad. It's not a bad college life. It's just gonna be different than what all of your friends go through. Yeah. So, like, you're gonna come home and be saying all these things that no one's gonna really understand. And at first, when I was a freshman, when I came home and they're like, oh, how was your summer? And I was just like, summer? I was like, I was in basic, like, I didn't have a summer, and, like, that kind of thing. Or, like, what classes are you taking? I'm like, oh, well, I'm in all these classes. And they're like, what are those? Like, you're gonna be in mandatory classes that are just like, that your friends will be like, why are you taking those? But it's just a different experience. I appreciate it. That's all I'm gonna say. I appreciate it. It's different, but I appreciate it. Do I wish I could be at parties sometimes? Yes, but it's fine. Everything's fine.
And even with ROTC, like there will still be like differences between you and the rest of your friends. Like
you'll realize that like even ROTC in the academy, you having a different college experience is like, it's worth it.
Yeah, I wouldn't not do it.
Yeah, it's
like,
worth
I
it.
would go.
We're not sitting here being negative and complaining about like our lives. Like we chose this because we know that is the best opportunity for us in life. Yeah, and like career-wise, it's a really good opportunity, and education-wise,
and
like,
it's free college.
We're both. I had no desire of being a pilot before I got to the school, and then after a year, I was just like, wow, like I can be a pilot when I graduate. What other school am I gonna have that opportunity?
Right.
So yeah, that's our video.
Hopefully it's helpful.
Hopefully it's helpful is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Because there just aren't that many videos that are like informative out there like this.
Especially with girls. We know you're out there. We know you have questions because we were both in the same position and we're frantically searching YouTube. Like,
and there's nothing.
There's nothing.
There's literally nothing.
There's nothing. So that's what we're here for. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Kat. There's a bee.
Thank you for having me.
When we just woke up and said, let's film a video and look scary. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome.